Every day, there's a battle for your mind raging. Information coming from every angle with the will to deceive. Fear not. You found the place for truth. The voice of a generation that still has the will to believe in the greatest country in the history of the world. This is the Charlie Kirk Show. Buckle up. Here we go.
All right, welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show. I'm Andrew Kolvet, executive producer of this show. I am joined here on set in D.C. No, we did not change the Charlie Kirk set. This happened last time. We did not change the set. But I am joined here by Sean Davis, CEO and co-founder of the Federalist, and Lomas Jonathan Cooperman on my right. I think we've got cameras on them.
There we go.
Eventually you will see them here in D.C. And then Blake Neff is joining us from Phoenix. Blake, are you there?
That is where the normal studio is. We can prove that it does still exist. It is still hasn't been bulldozed, hasn't been changed.
Yeah,
chair is there. It is no panic in the emails, please. Yeah. We're still
this was actually funny. You guys would appreciate this. Last time Blake and I think Jack was with us. Poso, we were here. I mean, our inbox was like inundated with like people like, I can't believe you changed the set. We're like, no, we just were visiting. It was during the medal ceremony the last time we were here. But thanks to the Real America's Voice team for making this studio available to us. Gentlemen, there's a lot going on. We're in the middle of a shutdown. We were actually just talking about how our flights got delayed because of the air traffic controller, holds or whatever, because there's less air traffic controllers in the air. There's a lot going on that is really important. We want to get to it. But there was a moment last night at the Patriot Awards where Erica Kirk received the first ever Charlie Kirk Legacy Award. And I think this is she's just been so courageous. You guys, I don't have to tell you about all the distractions and all of the conspiracies and all of the things that could distract and really derail a lesser human. But she's just really been so strong and so gracious and so, steady in the midst of this unbelievable situation that nobody should ever have to be in. I'm curious about your guys' POV just from the outside watching, as she's done her first interview now, she's accepting awards, and she's doing a phenomenal job in my opinion. But what is it like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I can remember going back to September 10th and experiencing this with my own wife, who I love you wherever you are. However, I couldn't imagine her just stepping into a role like this and just sort of like seamlessly filling into the enormous shoes of Charlie, and not just getting up on stage and just mouthing the right words, but really embodying Charlie's spirit in a way that's almost uncanny. Like his ability to bring people together, this sort of just strength of purpose that comes with everything she does. And so it's been a really sort of remarkable thing to observe from the outside. And I think, of course, this is a testament to Charlie as well. He obviously has really good taste, and he picked a winner.
Well, Sean, I'm going to get to you and Blake here, but 409 is basically Jesse Waters, who got the first exclusive interview with her, saying the same thing. 409.
Famous quote behind every great man is a great woman. We're now realizing how great Charlie was by seeing how great Erica is. Erica has been able to take hope from grief. She didn't ask for this mission. She accepted this mission. This was not something she wanted, but this is something she's now duty-bound to do. Charlie's mission was to save Western civilization, and that is now her mission.
Sean?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this since September 10th, and I've always wondered, watching people be martyred overseas, when you see people, they've got the bags over their head, they're lined up, and you wonder, how do they have the strength to go through what they know they're about to go through? And I'm convinced it's grace from the Holy Spirit in the moment that he knows we need it. I watch Erica, and I think to myself, there's no way she does this without the Holy Spirit. She has been given so much grace and so much courage, not to take anything away from her personally, but there's no way any of us could manage that on our own. There's no way any human on their own power could handle that grief and that burden. And to go out there and see her do it, I think is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Okay, I was messaging with Blake just because we are studios apart, and I was like, Blake, you should chime in here. He's like, no, it's good. I'm gonna explode when we get to these two next topics. So in lieu of that, I want to tease the audience for Blake. The Blake rants are becoming legendary. Let's go ahead and play a clip then from Erica at this event. Let's go ahead and say let's play 407.
This whole room feels it. This whole nation feels the spiritual warfare. But Charlie would say that's how you know you're over the mark, when you feel it, when the enemy is there. That's how you know you're doing the Lord's work. And that's how you know you're defending truth. And that was his true barometer, was when he would feel that spiritual warfare. And I watched him pour every ounce of himself into the students, into raising up the most courageous generation, and inspiring so many people to stand firm in faith and to love this country.
Yeah, I mean, that really is, when you talk about spiritual warfare, I was talking about Lomas, Jonathan Cooperman. We still haven't settled on how we're going to.
It can be either one.
Maybe J-Lo.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lomas.
There you go. But this feeling of spiritual warfare is really palpable right now. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to explain. I think a lot of people in our audience feel it. If you just log on to social media for like 2 seconds, you'll see it.
Yeah.
There is a churning happening right now, and it's impossible to know where it's going to settle out. But I think we felt it before Charlie was assassinated, and then as soon as Charlie was assassinated, it's like there was this moment of unity and sort of beauty, really. And I think in the last couple of weeks, people have really come to see that we are in a time of churning and testing, both as a movement as a country.
Well, I think for me anyway, in Charlie's absence, it was only in the last couple of months that I came to realize just what a sort of central figure of gravity he was, holding this whole coalition together. And in his absence, you do see sort of the barbarians at the gate. You see people and forces sort of coming into this coalition and using sort of the vacuum that was created by Charlie's untimely death to fill it with, different kinds of ideas and different sort of self-interested agendas that could derail what was a really strong thing and what still is, but is going to require, I think, everybody to sort of take a cue from Erica and try to embody this unifying spirit that Charlie had. And so I think that's the task before us here.
Blake, I think this is a good time to actually throw it to you because you've been sounding off. I've been looking at your Twitter, actually, and you have really emerged, in my opinion, and I don't mean to make you embarrassed here, but as a voice of common sense and a strong, forceful voice. I'm super grateful for it, actually. We had to encourage Blake to start tweeting. But, I mean, what's your take on this?
Forced me to start tweeting. I want to be on the record for that.
Well, I knew how great you would be at it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you are a lot of things, Blake, but you have a moral clarity that is profound. So, final thoughts to you in this segment.
It's just, it's been a very trying time for a lot of people. It would be trying no matter what happened, but just it really it makes you appreciate how many different things can stress you out through a difficult moment, because you have the obvious loss of Charlie, and then you have you have the good problems, like how do you manage the outpouring of support, love? How do you make sure that what happened to him is the surge of spiritual energy, make sure that's not wasted, make sure his martyrdom is not is not just this tragedy with no upside to it. But then the follow-ons, you have the vicious people who try to come at whatever the big topic is. You have the kind of oddballs who just invent bizarre things and then get obsessed with them and harass you. And you have to really we have to work on maintaining your composure through difficult periods. And I think all of us have learned how to do that, but it's a real challenge. And Erica, most of all.
Yeah, she's been doing great, though. More with Sean Davis and Lomas. We'll be right back.